Large language models are completely changing the game in medicine. But here's the secret. The real power isn't just what they know. It's all about how we ask. Today, we're going to unpack the one skill every single healthcare professional needs to learn: how to talk to AI in a way that gets you answers that are not just accurate, but genuinely useful in a clinical setting.
You know, it's funny, Douglas Adams obviously wasn't talking about AI when he wrote this, but wow, does this hit the nail on the head. Just like trying to find your way through the galaxy, getting what you need from an AI requires a really good guide. Because if you don't phrase things just right, the AI's version of reality can be more than just inaccurate. It can be downright dangerous. And that's exactly why we need this guide to prompting.
Okay, let's look at a real-world example of just how high the stakes are. On the left, you've got a lazy prompt: summarize patient chart. And what do you get back? A wall of text that's basically useless. But now look at the right, a specific, well-thought-out prompt. And the response? It's concise, it's accurate, and it's something a cardiologist could actually use. It's a night and day difference, right? So the big takeaway here is, the AI isn't the problem. The prompt is the key. So, the big question is, how do we get that valuable answer on the right every single time? Well, there's a name for this skill, and it's called prompt engineering. Let's break down what that really means.
Now, prompt engineering sounds super technical, doesn't it? But don't worry, it has nothing to do with coding. It's really just the art of giving good instructions. I like to think of the AI as this brilliant, super fast intern who takes everything you say literally. So your job is to be an amazing manager, to give instructions so clear they just can't be misunderstood. That's how you avoid those weird inaccuracies or those infamous AI hallucinations.
So prompting isn't just one thing. On one hand, you have automated prompts, which are, created by other algorithms. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're focusing on the stuff we can do right now, the manual prompts. These are the hands-on techniques that you, as a clinician, can start using today to get way, way better results.
All right, let's roll up our sleeves and get practical. It's time to open up the toolkit and look at the essential techniques that you absolutely need to know.
First up is zero-shot prompting. And honestly, you're probably already doing this without even knowing it. It's just asking a question, plain and simple. For basic, factual stuff, just firing off a direct question like this works great because you're tapping into the massive library of information the AI was trained on.
But what happens when things get a little trickier, or you need something in a very specific format? Well, that's where few-shot prompting comes into play. Think of it like this. Instead of just telling the AI what to do, you show it. You give it one or two perfect examples or shots of what you want. And it is amazing how this one little step teaches the AI the exact style and structure you're looking for.
Okay, this next one is a huge deal, especially in a medical context. It's called chain of thought prompting. The idea is simple, but so powerful. You tell the AI, hey, don't just give me the answer. Show me your work. Think it through step by step. In medicine, we can't just accept a black box answer, right? We need to see the reasoning. This technique forces the AI to lay out its logic so you can follow along, check its work, and actually trust the outcome. It's an absolute game changer for reliability.
Now, for one of my absolute favorite techniques, and it's incredibly effective in healthcare, it's called role priming. You're basically telling the AI to put on a costume. You give it a job title. You say, today you are a compassionate oncologist, or you are a pharmacist explaining this medication. By giving it a persona, you're not just getting facts. You're getting those facts framed with the right expertise, tone, and even empathy.
And here is a perfect example of that in action. Look at this prompt. It's not just list the risks. It's act as an interventional radiologist and explain to a patient. You see all those layers? What you get back is something that's not just medically sound, but also has the right clarity for a real patient conversation. You can use this for so many things, from drafting clinical notes to creating patient education materials.
Okay, so we've got our toolkit. We have zero-shot, few-shot, chain of thought. But just having a bunch of tools isn't enough, right? You need a process, a kind of recipe you can follow every time to make sure you're building a great prompt.
So here's a framework that does just that. We're not going to go through all 8 steps right now, but the big idea is this. Prompting is a conversation, not a one-time command. Your first try is almost never your best one. The real magic happens when you look at the AI's answer, see what's missing, and then go back and tweak your prompt. It's all about that process of refining and iterating until it's perfect.
All right, we've talked about the amazing places this technology can take us. But like any journey into new territory, there are some serious travel warnings we absolutely need to pay attention to. These tools are powerful, but we have to be smart and responsible about the risks. And here are the big ones we have to keep in mind. Patient privacy. That's completely non-negotiable. Accountability. We have to know who's responsible when things go wrong. And then there's the big one, AI hallucinations. That's when the AI just makes stuff up, and it sounds so confident when it does it, which is exactly what makes it so uniquely dangerous in medicine.
So what's the #1 most important safeguard against all of this? It's simple. It's you, the human in the loop, the clinical expert. This technology is here to assist us, to be a co-pilot, not to take over the controls. It absolutely has to supplement, not replace, our own clinical judgment. Nothing an AI produces should ever get near a patient without being checked and verified by a human expert, period.
Look, it's pretty clear that knowing how to talk to an AI isn't some niche techie skill anymore. It's rapidly becoming a core competency in the practice of medicine. With this guide, you now have the starter pack, the tools, the techniques, and a framework to put it all together. So the real question isn't if this will change things, but how you're going to use these new skills to navigate whatever comes next.